This is my 2022 Yamaha YZ250F Monster Edition. I've already uploaded a video of me riding it, but I didn't really show the bike much. So I'm going to give y'all an overview of this new bike. Only have 2.5 hours on it. Been to the track one time. So went and picked this thing up last week. Went to GR.motors over in Mississippi. So to give a backstory on this, I was looking for a 2022 YZ250F and could not find one in stock anywhere. They're in very short quantities right now. Called around to a couple different places. Called Atlanta, which is the closest big city to me. They didn't have any anywhere. So I had really almost gave up. Most places said that they wouldn't get any in until next April, and happened to be Lake Hill was the last place I called, and they had this one in stock. Wasn't looking for the Monster Edition. I liked the solid blue better, but now that I have this one, I like it. As you can see, I went ahead and put my numbers on. Did some Pro Taper levers, work connection skid plate, KYB fork graphics, flow foot pegs. They're the lowering foot pegs for the Yamaha that Flow makes. That's all I've done to it so far. Did the break-in around the yard on it, about 45 minutes, and then took it up to McLaren MX. Got a good 2 hours of ride time on it that day, and it did great. Currently running VP T4. It runs a lot stronger on that than pump gas, so I've been enjoying the T4. Plus it smells good. For those of you who do not know what the difference between the Monster Edition and the regular bike are, I'm gonna go over that real fast. So the Monster Edition, the only difference is you have black plastics all the way around. On your normal bike, the actual plastic is blue. You have the graphics that mimic the Star Yamaha professional race team. All of this is not a sticker, it's kind of made into the plastic, so that's pretty neat. It's not going to rub off. You get your GYTR, Yamalube, YZ250, of course the protein sponsored by Monster, so that's why you got your Monster on there. Like I said, I've got these to match. These are from Decor, which also does Star Yamaha's graphics. So I wanted it to replicate as much as possible. Since I already got the Monster Edition, just go ahead and go with the full look. This was obviously came from Decor, put that on myself. So as far as mechanically, there is nothing different from the Monster Edition and the regular Yamaha. It's not like the Works Edition or the SR Edition from Honda and Kawasaki, or the Factory Edition from KTM and Husqvarna. It's just the plastic and graphics. So no mechanical changes. I think it's like $400 more than the regular one, but it's a pretty cool look, especially once you get some number plates that match. Forgot to mention, I also added the ODI lock-on grips. Like those a lot, had them on all my bikes. So just an overview on the newer Yamaha YZ250Fs in general. Yamaha went to a reverse cylinder head, which means your cylinder head is facing the rear of the frame instead of the front. As you can see, you have this open space, and this is kind of angled towards the rear of the bike. So your header actually comes out on the back and wraps around the head to the other side of the bike and then out the rear. So that's a unique design by Yamaha. And that also puts your intake up here. So your air filter is under here, and you have some air ports right here that suck in the air and push it straight down into the engine. And I believe that's one of the reasons that these Yamahas seem to make so much torque. On a dyno chart, they actually lack compared to some other ones, but they pick up a lot faster, which makes it feel like they are very torquey and very powerful. And it's proven, as the Star 250 team has dominated the past couple of years. Of course, they have factory parts, aftermarket stuff, but in stock form, anyone you ask will tell you this bike is very, very strong for a 250. One thing to know about these bikes is they do not like to start when they're cold. I don't know if it's the battery. I've heard that the battery is underpowered as far as cranking amps go, and that people have been going with aftermarket batteries. Firepower, which is the same brand of my bike stand, makes a battery that's supposed to help. And there's another brand, I think it's called Anti-Gravity, that put out more cranking amps, and people say that helps with the starting a lot. Once it starts and warms up, it's good to go. It'll usually crank pretty easy. A lot of times it's easier to give it a touch, let the fuel injection, let it build fuel pressure, give it a few seconds, and then hit it again. And then it'll start. Not a big deal, but something to consider. I'll eventually upgrade the battery. And of course, you have your map switch button. You can load 2 maps from the Power Tuner app that Yamaha has become famous for. It's very useful. I like it a lot better than any of the other map systems I've seen. There's a Wi-Fi box that is actually under this side plate that's where you connect to, and you can load 2 maps into the bike at once, but you can have as many on the app as you want. And the maps make a big difference, so test that out. Yamaha has some on their website. Chris Kiefer has made a couple of maps for it. 2 of the ones that he made were my favorite that first day I rode it. We'll see as we go to different tracks with this bike, different conditions, see what I end up liking the most. But for as of right now, the free filling one is my favorite. It's called Kiefer Free Filling, and you can find it on his website, Kiefer Testing, and just copy the map and then upload it to the bike.